And I'd like to welcome you to our monthly coaching webinar. The goal of these webinars is to keep you moving forward so that you're really using what you learned at the Marketing Mastery Seminar. And that's so important because sometimes we go to the seminar, we get some ideas, we walk away, we're excited, but then we go back and we have the challenges of life and real estate and all those things that are coming on. And we want to make sure that you take this information and use it practically every single month. Next, we want to make sure that you aren't feeling isolated. Sometimes you get back and you feel like you're the only person really working on building a marketing driven real estate career. And we want to make sure that you realize that there's other agents, other people, and we're here to help you make your goals, your objectives become a reality. Another part of these conference calls is to make sure that you're holding yourself accountable so that you're taking action on the things that you committed to personally and professionally. Finally, the goal is to give you some new ideas, and we bring new ideas, new different things. So I want to start off with my regular monthly book of the month. Now, this is a seminar that I recommended this is a book that I recommended at the seminar, but I just recently reread it, and it just reminds me what a great book it is. And it's Annette Simmons' classic book, Whoever Tells the Best Story Wins. And the more I really study stories, the more powerful they really are. There's another book I recommend along with this one called Lead with a Story, and it's actually a book about leadership. And I found that the more you can tell stories that compel people to take action, that get your point across, the more effective you're going to be in your marketing, your personal life, your leadership life, and everything you're doing. Today, what I want to take a few minutes out is, the year's a little over half over. And what I want to do is a quick marketing review of your year to make sure that we're moving forward. And I think, every quarter you really need to take a little step back and say, how am I doing? We talked about this at the seminar. You put together a game plan for a year, and every quarter you make some adjustments. You say, gosh, am I on track? And so what I want to do today is think about it. We're halfway through the year. So the first thing to ask yourself is this: are you on track, ahead of schedule, behind your productivity goals for this year? Now, as you think about this, don't just answer yes, no, maybe, a little bit. What you need to do now is ask, what are the major causes for this? And the key is to think about why you're ahead, behind. If you're ahead of schedule, is this due because the marketplace has gotten better? Or is it due to your superior plan? Now, if it's just due to the marketplace getting better, realize you're setting yourself up for frustration and disappointment if anything happens in the marketplace. Because we want to do better than just ride the marketplace, whether it's good or bad. We want to be able to control our own destiny. And so right now you should be able to be doing much better than the marketplace is recovering. And remember, as the marketplace keeps getting better and better, more competition is going to come in. There's more agents coming back into the real estate industry, new agents coming in. So what you want to do is make sure that you're getting more than your fair share. If you're behind, especially as the marketplace is improving, now you should be a little bit panicked. You should say, okay, what do I need to do? What are the things that I need to have put in place so I can harvest the opportunity in the marketplace right now? And so what you need to ask yourself is this: what are the changes that you need to make to really get ahead of where you want to be? And now I'm trying to figure out how to get my slides to go forward. All right. So you need to figure out what changes do you need to make in your plan for the rest of this year. And this is so important. So you need to look and say, what little adjustments can I make? And oftentimes it's little adjustments that can have a huge productivity gain. I found that doing 90% of what everybody else is doing will get you average results. But if you dial in that last 10%, it produces so much better results. So what I want you to do is ask yourself this morning, How would you rate the following on a scale from 1 to 10? And it's important to really be totally honest. Don't blow smoke. This is something that only you can decide, but you want to be totally honest with yourself so that you know, yes, here's where I'm really at, because then you can make changes based on that that will take you where you want to go. So the first thing to ask yourself is this: how effective is my brand strategy? Give yourself a rating. Is the core marketing message that you have in all your marketing material working effectively for you? Is it resonating with your clients? Are they talking about it? Are they remembering it? And this makes such a huge difference. Holly is such a great example of this. As a new agent last year, she made sure that she had a core marketing message that really resonated with her personality, style, her marketplace. And it's made such a huge difference. Whatever it is, whether you're into design, personality, challenge, whatever it is, the type of marketplace, the personality you have, it's so important, because unless you have a core marketing message that's truly resonant with who you are, that's going to work with your marketplace, everything you do becomes so much less effective. The next question to ask yourself is this: is your target marketplace large enough to accomplish your goals? And again, this is personal for everybody. Some people are fine doing $2 million in sales. Some want 20 million. Some want 40 million. You have to decide, what is your goals, and is your marketplace large enough to accomplish the goals that you have set for yourself? So how big is your target marketplace? Is there enough people? And remember, there's no right or wrong number. It all depends upon the things that we've talked about at the seminars, your objectives, and the turnover rate in your selected marketplace. So remember, as the turnover rate goes up, the size of your marketplace can get smaller. As turnover rates go down, so as prices go up, the size of your farm, if you want to do the same number of transactions, needs to go up. It's just thinking about this from a logical perspective. If you don't have a big enough target marketplace, if you aren't getting your marketing message out there and exposing it to a decent enough number of people, the chances for you to achieve your goals are much less. Then ask yourself, how many times is your target marketplace the people that you are targeting as your farm, your core marketplace? How many times each and every month are they getting your marketing message? And this is so important to think about. So many agents are going through, they're holding open houses, they're taking floor time, and they're faking themselves out that they're trying to build a business. No, when you're holding open houses, waiting for people to come in, when you're taking floor time, when you're just basically randomly cold calling, you're searching, you're in that sales mode looking for another transaction. You aren't marketing, you aren't getting your message out there consistently. See, and it's so critical to remember, you've got to get your marketing message 3 to 5 times a month to the same people, month in, month out, without fail. And so be totally honest with yourself. Am I getting my marketing message to a group of people that's large enough to accomplish my goals? And am I getting it there 3 to 5 times a month in some medium? Some combination of direct mail, online advertising, offline advertising, billboards, bus benches. I want you to realize this is so important. And you've got to make sure that you are moving forward on this. Now, next, look at the delivery methods that you're using to get your marketing message out there. Ask yourself, what different methods am I using? Am I using direct mail? Am I using online advertising? Am I doing Facebook? Whatever it is, make sure you have a good mix and that you're consistent with it. I see so many people, when they leave the seminar, they go and they get active on Facebook for like a week. And they say, well, you know, I posted 2 or 3 times a day for a week. I hit the like button for 15 minutes a day. And I did that every day for a week, and nobody called me. I didn't get instant business. It's more than a week. It's months. It's staying consistent. And this is so important. And ask yourself as you look at every piece of marketing that you're doing, is it taking me to where I want to go? Is it building the image, the style that I want? Is my just listed, just sold cards, are they really communicating the image, the style that I want? And is it communicating the professionalism, the quality that I want my clients to think about me? As people go to my website, as they watch my YouTube videos, are they getting the right impression of everything I'm doing? Just to reinforce all the other pieces. So no matter how they see me, there's an instant connectivity between my YouTube videos, my Facebook advertising, my marketing. This is so important. Now, if you're doing online advertising, whether it's on Facebook, LinkedIn, the things that we talked about, does this tie into the rest of your marketing? Does your marketing in mass media reinforce everything else you're doing? Now, just be honest with yourself and ask yourself, is this working for me or against me? Then your emails, your Facebook pages. It's so important to look at everything you're doing and then rate yourself in each one of these areas. On your Facebook advertising, are you reaching your target market effectively? Are you reaching your sellers and buyers? And I will tell you, I was recently, actually just last Friday, was talking to an agent that said, Greg, when I was in the seminar, you told us how to reach sellers so that they saw their ad of their listing all the time. And he said, I've been following your buyer loyalty program. I love the buyer's questionnaire, some of these different things, but I always want the buyers to feel like I'm always thinking about them. And so he actually put together a little ad for Facebook where he's targeting buyers that he's working with. So as soon as he connects with somebody on Facebook as a buyer, what he does is he puts them in a small group, just like we taught you how to do for a seller. And he's created a little landing page that talks about how hard he works for his buyers, what he does for them. And he created a little YouTube video. And he says, now every time I have a buyer, I spend about $15 a month so that every time they go to Facebook, they see me advertised to them. And he says it's amazing how many of his buyers have commented, oh gosh, I see your advertising all the time. I know you're working so hard for me to find me a house. So ask yourself, are you doing the things that we taught you with your Facebook advertising, making your buyers, your sellers, your target marketplace see you on a regular basis? Are you taking advantage of Google AdWords? Are you thinking about what people are searching for? Are you thinking about LinkedIn to reach professional groups if that's your target marketplace? Is your direct mail working to enhance that? And are you following up with the things from Facebook, LinkedIn, all of this effectively with direct mail? And then is your mass media working together synergistically to help build your image? All of these things need to work together effectively. Now, ask yourself, how's my conversion plan? And I find that a lot of times agents get so busy advertising, marketing, they get everything out there, but now they're generating leads and they don't have a great plan in place. And this is just making sure you have everything in place. So whether people see one of your Facebook ads, whether they call you from a piece of direct mail, you meet an open house, however you get a lead, you need to have a systematic plan to say, this is what I'm going to send them. Always start with your brochure, maybe a special report, depending upon how they've contacted you. And then remember, once a week for 4 weeks, then twice a month for a year. Make sure that you have that system in place so that it happens automatically with every single client, and you will find that you will not let so many things slip through your fingers. I see so many agents doing all the work, but then they let the leads slip away because they don't have an effective client follow-up plan. Don't take a lead ever on the back of a business card, a piece of paper. Make sure you have your journals with you so that you can write down a lead and then instantly put it into your long-term follow-up program. That's one of the great things about Exact Contact because of its sync with your cell phone. If you get a lead, put it right into your cell phone and put it right into the exact contact program, and then launch one of those campaigns instantly so that now it automatically triggers everything else. That makes such a huge difference. Now, look at your direct response offers on your landing pages and make sure that you're following up with enough things. And then when they fill this out, you're following up effectively from that. Also, ask yourself, am I doing what I need to do on Facebook? Now, again, I want you to remember that you need to be talking about the things that are going on in your life, the things that are interesting, valuable, the things that are important to you. Be posting 3, 4, 5 times a day. Spend 5-10 minutes a day going through and just liking other people's posts. This is so efficient, especially your active buyers and sellers. Pull them up on Facebook, go to their page, comment, interact with them. This is just like picking up the phone and calling them, only it's a lot easier and a lot more efficient. It's just a way of staying in touch with people consistently. Then jump on the chat at the night. Spend 15-20 minutes chatting with people, just saying hi. This is being socially interactive, and it's a great way to keep your name, your recognition out there on a regular basis. Do the things that we talked about at the seminar consistently to make sure that your Facebook activities are turning into real value, that you're getting business directly from that. Also, how's your YouTube marketing? Are you creating videos about the things that we talked about? Are you creating local area videos? Are you talking about what's going on in the marketplace, the trends? Right now, there's so much good news. You should be doing a video tip of the week of some aspect of real estate. These are so incredibly effective. Learn from Bobby Brandon. He's always doing little things about what's going on. Here he just did a little video about the beaches in his area. Now, if there's anything interesting in your area, create a little video about it. Then create a video about what's going on in the real estate marketplace. Just get actively involved in this. Start creating a video a week, posting it, getting it out there and starting to build your audience. And this makes such a huge difference. You can become a celebrity in your marketplace. Plus, as people go to your YouTube videos, see that you have a channel with a variety of views, a variety of different information. You will become so much more successful as an agent. People's perception of you will be so much stronger. Also, ask yourself, how many of your personal brochures are you getting out each and every month? This is so critical. It was interesting. Last year, I had a guy from Santa Barbara call me. And this is a longtime client. And he called me up and he said, Greg, my marketing isn't working as well as it used to. I said, well, what's going on? He said, well, I don't know. It just seems like it's slowing down right now, and I'm trying to figure out what's going on. I want to make sure that I'm capitalizing on the opportunity. Well, I happened to be in Santa Barbara a few weeks later, and I stopped by and started looking what he was doing. And he gave me his brochure, and he said, oh, Greg, I'm really sorry. I'm in the process of get them reprinted. I'm just waiting to take my pictures. He says, I've been on this diet. I've been trying to lose 10 pounds, and I've been wanting to wait a little while. I said, well, no problem. Go ahead and take it as soon as you can, though. Don't wait too long. I know that, we want to look perfect, but remember that it's better to keep them looking like you. And as we started talking, I said, well, now when you're following up with people, sending out your confirmations, you're sending out your brochure, he said, well, I'm running low of them, and since I'm waiting to get my pictures, I haven't been sending them out very much lately. And he had been in the habit of sending out about 500 to 1,000 brochures and been doing this for years. And it had driven his marketing incredibly well. But because now he was running low, didn't like his pictures yet, was waiting to redo them, he was now cutting it down, and he was only getting about 25 to 30 brochures a month out. And then he was wondering why his business had fallen off. This is not complicated. Remember, go to the little manual that we gave you, how to generate 10 transactions in 90 days. And I know that gets you up and running, but in there it talks about how to make sure you're sending out a variety of things on a regular basis. There's a whole series of letters. I think there's 20 or so ways of sending out your brochure consistently. So you're getting 500 to 1,000 of these a month out in a variety of different ways. And you'll find that that will generate an ongoing flow of business. Remember that if you get your story out there, if you know you have the 5% turnover rate, you're going to generate an ongoing flow of business. And so look at what you're doing. Are you getting them to your past clients? Are you asking for referrals? Are you sending them to every lead out there? All of these little things make such a huge difference. Then remember that in the plan, you can send them to professional groups that service your target marketplace, lawyers, CPAs. For the segment of the marketplace that you go after, find out which professionals service this group and use the letters in there to ask for referrals and say, gosh, I'll refer business to you, you refer business to me. And now find a few professionals, a few attorneys, a few lawyers, not attorneys, lawyers, the same thing, CPAs, financial planners, stockbrokers, all those professionals that are working within your segment of the marketplace. This works so incredibly well to build that network for you. And it can make your brochure so productive month in and month out for the rest of your real estate career. Then ask yourself, how am I following up with my past clients? Am I following and executing the past client plan? Am I staying in touch with them some way every single month? Whether I'm sending that expert letter. And remember, that's so critical. It's so easy to do. Write the letter once every 6 months. Here's what's going on in real estate. Then send the other things that we talked about. Send out your brochures twice a year. Then email. This makes such a huge difference if you are in front of your past clients. I will tell you right now, building that relationship with your past clients. Even if you haven't been in contact with them, start staying in touch with them on a regular basis. The marketplace is starting to get really good. As prices come back up, a lot more people are going to be moving up, moving around, doing things. Right now is so important to re-engage with all the people that you've probably gotten out of contact with because you didn't know what to say when the marketplace was slow. So make sure you're re-engaging with these people because they will lead you to a fortune in the next year ahead. Then ask yourself, how's my for sale by owner and expired plan? Now, during the slow times, expireds were an incredible opportunity. As the marketplace heated up, many of you don't have expireds anymore. And when you don't have expireds, you need to now switch to for sale by owners. Because as the expired marketplace goes down, the for sale by owner marketplace in every good marketplace starts growing. And we've already seen that growth. So basically, start looking for the for sale by owners in your area and farming them. Use the for sale by owner program. We didn't really talk about the seminar, but if you go to the download site, it gives you step-by-step instructions. There's a whole series of things, letters, follow-up cards, to mail to for sale by owners. You never actually have to call them. All you have to do is mail them. Now, it's a fairly intense program. It starts with once a day for 3 days, then once every 2 or 3 days for a few weeks, and then once a week. And you're going to stay in touch with people for 3 months. You're basically farming a for sale by owner. And what I found is, at some point, they all decide, gosh, I want to list. And if you're top of share, you will get a lot of those people. So many agents follow that program with incredible results. It will get you up and running very quickly. I want you to realize these are little things that you can do to start generating income very quickly if you need that and can expand your business. There are also things you can automate. So if you have an assistant, have your assistant execute the campaign. You're just mailing it out. And now you just deal with the calls. So think, how do I automate these things? How do I get them running so that now my business is becoming automatic? Then, are you reading U Squared once a week? So many people at the seminar say, Greg, that's such a great book. And then they leave the seminar and they forget to read the book. And I want you to make sure that you're reading the book every single week. Don't just throw it away. Make sure that it's in your briefcase, it's around. This makes such a huge difference. I will tell you, the more you read that book, the more you have a mindset of productivity, the things that it talks about, the more impact it will have on you. Then, are you reading your Quantum Leap letter? Now, I saw in the list of attendees, some of you were at the seminar last week. And for those of you who were at the seminar last week, I've only gotten like 4 Quantum Leap letters. And remember, you promised to send it to me within 48 hours. I still haven't received that. So if you haven't done it and you were at the seminar last week, make sure you get that to me today, tomorrow. Don't wait. Get that letter written, and then 5 minutes every day, read the letter. Then take 10 minutes, visualize your success. Really live it, taste it. Do this every day for the next 90 days. And remember, that will make a huge difference for you. This is so valuable. If you read Think and Grow Rich, that's basically the core message. Visualize what you want. Think about it. This is one of the core, most effective ways of getting what you want, and so few people are willing to do it, even though it's so simple. Remember, we talked about the formula for a life of disappointment. Think about the things you could do, think about what you could do, and then just don't do them. You could write your Quantum Leap letter. You should. The question is, will you? And this is so important in thinking about it. Now, my goal here today is to get you to think about where you're at, what you need to be doing, and really get on track for the last half of this year. Set up this year to end incredibly strong. I really believe 2014, 2015 are going to be extraordinary years in real estate. They are going to be huge opportunities. We're going to see agent productivity skyrocket for the people at the top 2 or 3%. As normal, there's going to be more agents doing okay, making a living, but there's going to be a lot more agents coming in, and the failure rates are going to start to climb, as typical in every rising marketplace as well. You want to make sure that you're positioning yourself to truly capitalize on everything going on in the marketplace. Now, I'm going to open it up to questions. Before I do that, I would like to remind you that I would love your feedback. First of all, I'd love your comments about this webinar each and every month on Facebook. I'd love an email. We are here to support you. Everybody here at Hobbs Schroeder Advertising, our emails are all our first name dot last name at Hobbs Schroeder. We'd love to get your feedback, your help, your questions. So what I want to do is open it up to questions. And if you go to the questions tab, you can type in a question on there. Now I see something from Don Hale. Could you over the Quantum Leap letter again? The Quantum Leap letter is to write a letter as if you'd already made your Quantum Leap. So sort of put yourself out a year or 2 years from now and write a letter that says, this is what my life looks like. I am making X number of dollars. This is what I do each day. I spend X number of hours working. I spend X number of times with my family. I'm going here. I'm doing this. And what you want to do is write a letter, and it's got to be 1 page or less, so it's fairly brief, describing your ideal life. Sort of a visualization of exactly what you want your life to be. And you want to write it in the present tense as if it was already a reality. Don't write, in 12 months, I will make X number of dollars. Right? I am making $350,000 a year. I am taking every one long weekend a month. My wife and I go to dinner at wherever it is your favorite restaurant is every month. Whatever your true most important values are, capture that. Write that letter for you as if it was a present reality. Now, every day, take a few minutes, read the letter. And then I really want you to sort of meditate on it. Close your eyes, visualize, focus on that, close out all the other distractions and just imagine you were living that life. And if you've got 5 or 10 pictures that could represent that life to you, I found it sometimes useful to look at them, think about them. But you want to taste, feel, live that experience for 10 minutes. Then just take a few minutes and ask yourself, what are the next action steps I could take to make this a reality? And I found that if you live there for 10 minutes, you always have ideas, action steps. Write those down and now go to work on them. Say, how can I make sure I'm making a little bit of progress? And here's the key. Every day, just make a little bit of progress. If you say, gosh, I'm going to just make a little bit of progress, I know don't have a huge amount of time, I'm going to take a little bit of a step. If you do that every day, you can't believe how much progress you will make over the next 2, 3, 4 months. So many times we say, well, I need a huge block of time to try and get this going. And what I found is that we very rarely get those blocks. So if we just make a little bit of progress, like I talked about the seminar, every day is stacking for you or against you. At the end of each day, make sure the day is stacking for you. And I'm getting a comment that the volume is cutting out. Hopefully everybody can hear me. I show that I've got a lot of volume going out on my little audio meter. So you might look at your computer and your volume, see if there's anything there. Hopefully my staff will tell me if there's any challenge with the audio on their computers. All right, other questions, things that I can help you with. This is free consulting time. So, all right. So other things that I can help you with, challenges, what's going on in your marketplace. Tell me, I'd love to get some feedback. What's happening in your marketplace right now and what can I do to help you get moving forward? So questions. Was this useful? I always hate it when there's no questions. There's a whole bunch of people and I'm always shocked there's no questions. All right. So people are away. Summer. Here's one of the interesting things. There's never a perfect time of year. And this is so important. And I want you to make sure that you don't fall into this trap because so many people say, well, it's summer right now, so I can't do that much because people are out on vacation. And then it's back to school. People are back to school. We just got back into school and everybody's got back to school shopping. And then school just started. Well, and now it's Halloween. And now it's Thanksgiving, and then it's Christmas, and it's just after Christmas. And I found that so many people are in what I call the getting ready to get ready. They're waiting for, the marketplace to get back to normal. There is no normal marketplace. Success happens, opportunity happens, and right now I will tell you, so many people are having extraordinary summers. Make sure you take advantage of it. You talk about a micro niche. What if it isn't big enough for my goals so that I'd go after it first one or make it bigger? Well, so here's what I found. Start with a micro niche. And now, as you're dominating that marketplace, say, what's the next broadest thing that I can broaden it to? So if you start and just genuinely broaden it, you will find that almost every niche can broaden to achieve your goals. But the more focused you start, the more effective it will be at the beginning to maximize it. If you start with a general appeal, it's much harder to make that work. So think about it, and very rarely do I find that there are too many micro niches that are too small. I mean, like Dan O'Brien, 626 people, that was probably too small. But think about how to broaden any appeal, and you'll find that you'll be able to do that effectively. All right. So the next question is, what should I be saying on Facebook other than just liking, etc.? Do I make it real estate related or personal? So if you remember the seminar, you've got to do 80%, 90% personal, 10% real estate related. And when you're talking about real estate, never make an overt sales presentation. Talk about how you're working with clients. your life, those are the things that are most useful. I will tell you, asking your client's permission, can I talk about this transaction, your experiences? And then the real world experiences that you're happening, just don't make it sound like you're trying to sell. Talk about your special reports, your brochure, so that people will be curious and ask about those. And that makes such a huge difference. What were the two book titles you gave us at the beginning? We had no slides then. All right, I'm sorry about that. So, the first book title I gave you was Annette Simmons' classic book, Whoever Tells the Best Story Wins. And that is such a great classic book. Let me see if I can, whoops, and I was trying to get to my slides so I could actually go back to that title, and I see I killed my slides. So let me see if I can go back here and actually pull that up so you can see the title of it here. I think there it is. So Whoever Tells the Best Story Wins. And the other book I recommended was Lead with a Story. And that's such a classic book on leadership, but it helps you think about why stories work in so many different ways, and it can really make a big difference for you. So I highly recommend both of those books. So let me get back here to our comments question. All right. So now back to other questions. And now I got to find my comments box. The joy of technology, it always hides. Okay. In Chicago, the information is overwhelming. Where do you suggest an experienced broker starts, especially if they have a personal brochure already? Well, start by sitting down and saying, okay, how am I using my brochure? How am I getting it out? And then make a list of priorities of here's the things that I should do. Maybe I'm going to do some online advertising. Sort of create a list. And what I found is go to work for 30 days and say, I'm going to dedicate 30 days to getting one system up and running, whether it's my online advertising, getting my brochure out consistently every month, whether it's Facebook, and really give 30 days to each system. And what I found is that if you'll break it down into little things, pieces like that, dedicate 30 days, you get that system up and running. At the end of 30 days, say, what's the next step? What's the next priority that I have that I need? Maybe I need to get my past client system up and running. Then the following month, you say, I'm going to work on my For Sale by Owner program. Now, if you already have your clear strategic brand advantage, that's the best way to do it. If you don't have your strategic brand advantage, your clear target marketplace, that's the first thing you got to do. And until that's in place, nothing else will matter. I see a comment here. It says, this has been extremely useful. I'm having difficulty finding the download site. Do you need a password? Yes, you do need a password. And we gave it to you at the seminar. If you have a problem, please call the office and they will be happy to walk you through and get you on track for getting that. So you can call us at 657-235-3600. Tell them you need username and password for the download site and they will walk you through that. The next question, when are you having your next seminar in Toronto? Say, we were just in Toronto a couple of months ago, so we are not going to be back in Toronto. I believe we just scheduled Toronto for June of next year. It's June or July of next year. It's actually up on our website, so you can check it out. But come see us in Las Vegas in December, or check out any of the things that we've got going. We have through June up on our website on hobbsherder.com. What is the most important step to take to get going? And I will tell you that I think the most important step is getting a clear vision of what you want and why that's important to you. Because until you're clear of what you want and why you want it, you'll find yourself procrastinating about doing anything. Once you're clear about why, I found The hows, the action steps, come much easier. You're much more excited. You say, oh my goodness, this is what I want. This is why. Here's the payoff. So I'm going to go with, just getting started. And then do the first thing that seems to be the most exciting to you, that you are the most excited about. Don't even think about, what's the most productive for me. If you think about what is that I want, why do I want it, and then what am I most excited about doing? Then just do that. And once that's up and running, the next thing will be there and you'll just keep adding. And that's why it's so exciting. The next question is, how important is door knocking in your program? And I never know exactly how to answer that question because all of my top clients never door knock. But if you're broke, if you're just starting out and you need money and you don't have much money to invest in marketing, door knocking can still be very effective. The key is, are you door knocking with purpose? What do you have as a strategy for door knocking? And when you meet somebody at the door, you connect with them. What's your conversion process? What are you following up with? See, most great door knockers door knock, but then they follow up with direct mail consistently. They're doing other types of things once they've turned that cold prospect into a warm prospect. So are you following up with your brochure? Are you using it when you're out there at the door? And then are you following up consistently? Door knocking can be effective, but it's incredibly labor intensive and time intensive. And if you have taken the time to go through and calculate the cost per exposure, you'll realize that door knocking is actually one of the most expensive prospecting methods out there. But if you have absolutely no money and you have lots of time, door knocking can still work for you. So just understand that. But in the scheme of things, you're going to get on with more marketing so that you don't need to door knock ever again unless you're just in love with door knocking. Some examples of niches. I'm always amazed so many people ask for that. And it's so easy to do this. Remember, I went through a whole bunch of them at the seminar. Break down people into types of people, types of property. Look at your own hobbies. Anything that you're truly passionate about, those can be excited. Those can be turned into a niche. So, you can specialize in golf properties, scuba divers, travelers. Those all work well. Any professional group, doctors, attorneys, CPAs, dancers, all of those have done incredibly well. I love the guy in Colorado that does live water properties. He specializes in properties with trout streams only because he loves trout fishing. Anything you have a true passion on, then you can break down the marketplace on any type of property that you truly have a passion about. You can also look for personality types. B. Powell uses the energy to move you as her slogan, and it's because her personality radiates energy. If you've got a larger than life personality, you can use that. Even if you're incredibly quiet, you can use that as a niche to go after people that are quiet. If you have a passion for athletics, you can find a niche within that. There are so many different things. The most effective niches are the niches that you are most passionate about, that you love. The next question says, last week's seminar was fabulous. I just want to thank you for all the information. All right, I appreciate that, Nancy. Thank you. What was the total mix of direct mail you should send out in one target niche? So again, if you're starting out a cold direct mail farm, you're going to start once a week for 8 weeks, then 2 to 3 pieces a month forever, and go to the download site, and there are a variety of direct mail plans for farms, for other types of things, that'll lay out exactly what to send and when consistently. So just go to the download site, and what you want to do is really pull out those game plans and lay out the entire plan for the year. This makes such a huge difference. If you have your advertising, your marketing all laid out for a year-long game plan, Now it's so much easier to know what to do each day. So I'm just following my plan. The next question says, hmm, and is the damage, actually I must have missed a part of the first question from Peter. So the question says, and is the damage actually repairable? So I'm assuming there must be something else with that. So if maybe I accidentally deleted a question. So the next question is, what is a good market size? How many people? And again, there's no magic answer to that. It's how much business do you want to do? Remember at the seminar I gave you a formula. Look at the total number of homes selling in your area. You want to have twice as much turnover as your goal is. So if you pick a farm and you want to sell 50 homes in it, make sure there's at least 100 homes in the target marketplace that you've selected. You do a little research to the MLS and you'll figure out how big that should be. If you want to do 200 homes, 200 sales a year, you need a farm with 400 homes, which is going to be a lot bigger size. So part of it is depending upon your goal. I tell people, if your farm is smaller than 500, 1,000 people, it's hard to really build momentum in it, because if you take a look at 500 people, 5% of them are going to sell a year. That's not a lot of people. Now, if your goals are very minimal, that may work for you, but so look at your goals and what the turnover is. All right, I appreciate the comment, Helen. And thank you. Okay, when is the next seminar for Vancouver? I hate to tell you this, but we are not going to be in Vancouver next year. We are probably going to be in Seattle at some point next fall. But for places like Vancouver, we go there typically every 2 years. So right now we were just there earlier this year. So we probably aren't going to be back for a couple of years. So check out some of other places, maybe come down to Seattle, Vegas. All right. I just got my first Licks appointment by door knocking. That is great. And, door knocking will definitely work as you go and do that on a consistent basis, especially when you're starting out. It can be productive. It's just not going to pay huge long-term benefits. All right. Does charity work? Volunteering work? And I'm not sure exactly what you mean by work. You can turn a charity, a cause, into a niche marketplace. And I really believe charity does work, volunteering works, because we're giving back to the community. And if you're truly passionate about that, you turn that into a niche cause. One of my favorite clients donated about 20-30% of her commissions to a Boys and Girls Club that she was passionate about. And in her last couple of years, she actually gave almost 100% of her commissions to them. And she told the story constantly of why she was doing that. And it worked incredibly well as a marketing tool. And the real reason I believe it worked was she cared about those kids, and it was a passion of hers. The question is the information on the download site the same as what is available on Exact? No. At the download site, there's a lot more information than there is on Exact. In Exact, we've got some of the automated systems there, and you can use that. At the download site, there's special reports, ads, marketing, there's game plans, there's a ton of stuff. Exact helps you execute the plans that are there. So if you want to execute the past client follow-up program, it's already in Exact. You don't need to download it, but there's so much more at the download site. So make sure you check it out. The question is, I've ignored most of my past clients, spending all my time on new ones. What should I do to repair this damage? Peter. All right. So here's the one thing, Peter. Just start by sending them a letter that says, hey, I just feel bad that I've been out of touch with my past clients. You're important to me, and I'm going to make a better effort. And just reach out to them and then start staying in touch with them. It's that simple. We put ourselves in this position, and yet what I found is that when we just reach out to people, re-engage them, they're always thrilled. So just jump in and go for it. And you'll find that once you've started that, if you stay consistent, you can repair any damage, any hard will that you had. The one thing is, if you send out a letter that says, listen, guys, I'm so sorry I haven't been in touch with you. I'm going to make a better effort. Now be consistent. If you do that, you mail them a couple of pieces and then disappear for 6 months again, you may not recover from that. So just be consistent once you re-engage. All right. Are you coming back to Chicago or any Midwest city? Yes, we will be back someday. Again, I don't know exactly when. Right now, again, we haven't done Chicago for 3 years. We were there just last week. We should be back 2 years from now in Chicago. The only other thing is, remember that we love to do private events. I'm going to do a seminar in Detroit for Real Estate One only, just their company, next month. So if you want to bring us there, we'd love to come and do an event for your organization, a group of realtors. I do work for boards on a private basis as well. So, all right. Tanya asks, will Las Vegas be special? And I never know exactly how to answer that. It's going to be the same seminar that I do, but it's special because a lot of the people that we work with come to Las Vegas every year. It's our biggest seminar every year. We have lots of repeat clients. Half the group is people that are coming to meet with other people. Just the energy, the association. It's a great group of agents. So it is always a little bit special. It's my favorite seminar every year because it has a unique energy and enthusiasm all its own. So it is special, and yet it's the same. All right. You only mentioned the Nat Simon books. What was the other one I booked? The other book was Lead with a Story. And for the life of me right now, I can't think of the author's name. But if you go to Amazon and type in Lead with a Story, it'll pop up. All right, the next question is, all right, Amy, thank you for the comment. All right, well, I think, and if you're going through training with Chris Leader, no, I think he is great. And I think Chris really helps you execute your sales skills, your scripts, a lot of things, so that now as your marketing kicks in, you have all the skills to make sure that you do a great job. So, I think Chris is great as well. All right, Sharon, thank you for the comment. All right. And I noticed that we're about out of time. And I promise to keep these to an hour each month, and we're right in an hour. So make sure you go to Hobbs Herder Calls and sign up for our call next month. Then please send me an email, write a post on Facebook. I want to make sure that you keep moving forward and that, as always, you are accomplishing your goals. Your success is truly important to me. Please keep me posted on your success, your stories. They mean so much to me. Thank you very much and have a great week.